I'd like to call to order the Roselle Park Board of Education meeting of March 7th, 2023. This meeting is held in the Roselle Park Middle School auditorium. It is an open session of the Roselle Park Board of Education held under the Open Public Meetings Act of the state of New Jersey. Notice of this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger, local sources, the Home News Tribune, the Borough Clerk, school offices, and the district website. A roll call, please.
President Harms,
Here?
Vice President Baimonte,
Here.
Susan Carstone,
Here.
Dr. Brittany Kirkland, Cindy Mago,
Here.
Jennifer McCarr,
She's in the hallway.
okay,
She's here.
Chris Monroe,
Here.
Constance Quintella.
Here.
Thank you. Please rise for flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I will open up the public portion for anyone. I'm sorry, we're gonna do the, okay, we're gonna do that first and then we'll go to that. Okay. Okay. No, I was gonna do a little different. Okay, at this time, we'll ask our business administrator, Killer, to tell us a little bit about our budget. And after that, we'll have the open session where anybody in the audience wants to come forward and ask questions or suggestions on the budget. More than happy to please come up. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Today we're going to talk about the public budget we're going to have for next year, 2023-24. Can you hear? Hello? Can you see? Okay. I'm going to talk about 2023-24 budget. It's not complete yet. This is just the kind of snapshot and the big ticket items we're going to talk on. Okay. Our strategic plan is teaching and learning, student support, professional development, safe and secure learning environment. It's almost done. It was like a 3-year plan, but still in some session we need to complete some of the things. So we still have that plan in place. I'm going to talk about the expenditures, revenues, tax levy information, and then we're going to have the comments and suggestions. If you have any questions, if you can wait to the end, it'll be great. Our expenditures. This is not the whole expenditure. This is just the big ticket items. So salaries for general fund, it goes up to $774,000 next year. And benefits is going to be approximately 12%, which is $872,000. And we are going to have capital projects, HVAC upgrades for most of the buildings, boiler replacements, middle security door, interior painting, Aldine bathroom upgrades, parking lot payments, and lighting upgrades. This is going to be total up to $3.6 million, little over $3.6 million. And for the equipment, these are only replacement, school bus and utility van. It's $240,000. And we have technology upgrades, staff laptops, replacement servers, Wi-Fi access points, design computers. These are needed items. Staff laptops are end of life, 4 years old, and replacement servers needed. And Wi-Fi access points, we can't upgrade no more. There's no service no more, so we need to upgrade it too. And the design computers in the high school, they are 4 years old. As you might know, it's very hard to design with a 4-year-old computer. It adds up to 5.5, but this is not the whole increase. This is just the big ticket items. And everything else goes up, as you know, too. Our revenues. The local tax levy, we increased 2%, but you see 1.85 because the debt service is principal is going down. So that's why it's not 2% exactly. State sources went up 11%, which is $2 million. And at the same time, federal sources goes down almost $1 million. That's because of the ESSER funds for the COVID help is almost done. At end of this year, we're going to be using the last $1.6 million portion for the HVAC upgrades, and it's going to be total down following year. And other resources, this is the operating, comes from the operating budget. And overall, it's an increase of 3.77%. So if you look at the back from 2019, 22, 23, 24, 2021, the increase was 1.89. I think it's also because of the debt service, so it was like a 2%. Then after the ESSER funds, as you see, we didn't increase that much. It's like less than 1% because we had a lot of ESSER funds to use for instruction on all the supplies and upgrades. But now we are going back to regular, so that's why we had to go close to 2% increase. Tentative budget introduction is going to be next week on Tuesday, 7 p.m. And also the final budget hearing is going to be in end of April board meeting. Thank you for listening. If you have any comments and suggestions or questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'll open up the. You give me all the other stuff, just go writing on it. At this time, I'll open up the public portion for anybody to come up and give suggestions, ask questions on the budget only. Okay, so anybody wishing to speak, please come up, state your name and address. Okay, because I don't, because I wanted to mention.
Hi, Katie McDermott, 730 Galloping Hill Road. Regarding the budget timeline, despite this meeting and the subsequent meetings we're going to have later this month and in April, it doesn't seem like parents have any real input regarding the budget for the next school year. My understanding of the budgeting process is that budget information requests are sent to department heads and principals in October. And I think I speak for many parents when I say that the budget always feels done at this point. Like when we're having these meetings, it feels done. It doesn't feel like there's any room for true community participation that would result in change. So I would suggest that you hold a special meeting in October or November before the process is so far along down the road that the board isn't able to act on any parental input. Secondly, regarding the budget for extended school year, which I will refer to as ESY from here on out for the sake of brevity, I assume you all understand the scope and purpose of ESY. The percentage of parents whose children are eligible for ESY yet opt out is significant. CPAC has shared parental concerns regarding ESY with the district multiple times. To summarize, the hours are limited to morning only. Working parents often don't have the ability to transport their children from ESY to camp or another childcare. Also, ESY happens directly after the end of the school year, which leaves a 5+ week break between the end of ESY and the beginning of the school year in the fall. This break results in regression and requires teachers to get students caught back up at the beginning of the school year. Our children would be better served if ESY was moved to the 5 weeks prior to the start of the new school year. A number of years ago, the CPAC suggested the district partner with Roselle Park Summer Camp to provide a full day option. The partnership would solve the problem for working parents and offer ESY students an opportunity for inclusion with their non-disabled peers. We've been met with a fair amount of resistance. We are not asking for an ESY program at summer camp. Just that our children be afforded the opportunity to participate in all that the camp offers. We are only asking for transportation for what is likely a relatively small number of children from Aldine to the high school. If it's a nice day, kids could walk. It's not a big ask, and we don't understand why we are being told yet again, maybe next year. My last question is if I could get some clarity on what the remaining ESSER funds are going towards. Thank you.
The remaining, as I said in my presentation, the remaining ESSER funds is going to be $1.6 million. Is going to be used for HVAC upgrades. HVAC upgrades.
Thank you.
I think you had another question about starting the budget little early, like October, November. Technically, it's not possible because we just got the state aid numbers. Without having the revenues, we can't really. Okay, I got, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Jennifer McCool, 415 Filbert Street. Can you let me know what those other sources of revenue were? You showed like local tax, state tax, and then at the bottom it was other sources. What is that from?
Yeah, other sources is the operating budget. This they allowed by the state. You can carry some of the portion from last year, put in there as revenue.
So it's remaining money from last year that
Yeah,
you're carrying forward.
funds, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank
You're
you.
right.
Seeing no one else, I will close the public portion. Does the finance committee have any input? I'd just like to say a few things. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I know we saw a $3.6 million in capital. And the things that were up there, our boilers are old, and we keep on saying every year we have to replace them. We want to get the computers, if I remember in there, what was on it, the laptops for the children.
Yeah.
I don't have that numbers in front of me. That's why I apologize for what I don't have it. There was other things in that 3.6. Thank you. And so I want the community to understand that, you know, we put that in there. And just so you know, when we talk about the HVAC, we're always hearing about how it's too hot in the schools. I'm not sure where it is, the upgrades, the boiler replacement. We've replaced over the years in different schools. And again, we all know our buildings are very old and the boilers are going to go at any time. And we just don't want to have it go in the middle of the winter and then our children are cold. Don't want that. The lighting upgrades, we talked about some of the lighting upgrades we were talking about last meeting in here. It does look a little dingy in here, so we want to brighten it up. And a middle school security door. We always talk about security. This has to get done. Again, we're going to take the finance committee is going to take a fine and I look at this and see if there is anything we can cut out of there. But I'll assure you that we're not going to take anything out of there that's going to affect our children. In again, with the air conditioning, the security of the doors, and the bathroom upgrades in Aldine. So we're not going to cut that out of there, but we might look at something that we might be able to take out of there. So I just want people to understand that the $700,000, this is for the staff laptops. We looked at every 4 years, I think it was, kind of rotating them so that we have better equipment so our teachers can actually teach our children. This is important for us to have it. The Wi-Fi access gives us better access to it. So we can use it to teach our children a little bit better or get better things from the computer to teach them. And again, these are just some things. The school bus, people might say, why? We have a bus that I think is about 10 years old, the oldest one. I might be wrong. So if anybody out there says, no, you're wrong, I probably am. But I'm always told that every 10 years we should replace the school bus because it's, I'm going to say,
It's not allowed by the state.
it's, oh, okay. It's not allowed by the state. So I guess that's where I found out the 10 years. So we are replacing that bus with a new bus on there. A utility van. I know we just purchased a a pickup truck. The last pickup truck that we got was back in 2008, I think it was. I still work for the Elizabethtown Gas Company, and they were giving one away, and I asked if we could take it, and they would donate it to the school, and that was the last one they had. So again, it's time that we did some of our upgrades in our facility or in our equipment, so we can do a better job of keeping our buildings looking as they look right now. So just a couple of comments on there. I appreciate your time for coming out tonight. And again, on the 14th, we will have a vote on the temporary budget because it has to go to the county. The county has to approve it before we can go any further. So your suggestions tonight, we will take a look at it. We can't do it this year, but we'll sure take a look at next year to do it. I'm not sure October, but maybe in November, December, we might be able to do that to get the more suggestions in here. It looks like we're trying to kind of push something to, we're not. Okay, we're not trying to do it. It's just that we've always in the past, and then maybe it's time to change. We waited always for the governor to come out and tell us what we have so we can go, oh, thank you, or oh my God, what are we going to do now? So again, we will take your suggestions into, to look at it and see. If there's not anything else from the board?
Yes, President Harms, I have a comment / suggestion. I know looking at the local tax levy, it looks like a jump compared from last year to this year. So it might be helpful if we could share like the cost per child that the district kind of pays out and the cost per child that we receive for state funding to see the differences. And that might kind of help to explain that as well. If that's possible, even if you don't have the numbers tonight, if we could share it next week.
It's on. It's
Okay.
on.
Thank you, Dr. Kirkland. At the April 25th board meeting, I don't know if you remember, a detailed presentation will be
Right.
made where it gives a lot more information where the money's allocated. So yes, that will be also on.
Right, and that one is when we show actually what the tax levy is going to be for each house. If it's 300,000 or whatever it is, we show that in there so people understand. And it's when we see that number, it's I guess the first half, because our budget goes from July to July 1 to June 30th. The town and the taxes go calendar year. So it kind of helps us a little bit, but we still pay that full money. So again, and thank you, Brittany, that but on the 24th, we will have a full presentation. So you'll see exactly what it is, because we don't know if the county's going to allow what budget we have. So we have to go through all of that. That's the process that we have to, and we've always done that. So again, if there's nothing else on the, sure.
For the boiler replacements, the reason we're replacing, one of the reasons actually, they were built with the buildings and they consume a lot of energy, but at the same time, there's 70% rebate out there. So we can get that done much cheaper. That's why we're trying to get that done so we can get it in a good price.
Okay. For the one more time, if there's nothing else from the board, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
The motion to adjourn?
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. Thank you. Drive home, stay grounded because of the wind out there.